Oh, welcome back to The Blend. I'm so glad that we get to pick up on our second part of the conversation with Frankie Maldonado from Lifeguard Imaging. And if you remember, I was able to get a full body scan, also a heart scan recently. We get to talk a little bit about the results. We teased it just a second ago. I get to actually find out how my heart health is, which is something that you are so passionate for all of the people who come in here.
That's exactly right. In fact, our board certified doctors of radiology had said one scan like you just had is the equivalent of about 12 scans that a patient might get in a normal year to cover the various body parts. We're getting it all done in one shot, and I think you saw it's pretty quick. The entire scan takes about 6 or 7 minutes, and the insight's pretty good. Are you ready for your results? I
was going to say, you were able to talk about my results. It was something that you see in a normal baseline with some of the younger patients that you do work with.
Correct. So Brandy already got me your results, and I'll congratulate you because I'm jealous. You have a perfect 0 calcium score, which means the 4 arteries of your heart, the main arteries we're looking at, are completely clean. Now, the one thing I always say, though, is don't be complacent, and I mean that with all due respect. I say that for this reason. I'm a 7. Actually, I'm about to get my next scan either tomorrow or next week, and I hope I've been able to reduce it as I've already brought it down to a 7, but I'm a 7. I was a 0 at one time. People who are 100, who are 1,000, everybody starts at 0, and it doesn't mean it will, but it can go up over time for a multitude of reasons. Metabolism changes, change in lifestyle, just the weakening of our immunity system. So stay on top of it. We're going to help you with that. We'll continue to scan you annually to make sure that it stays at 0. But you're perfect right now. Congratulations.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that. I appreciate the feedback, and just knowing there is an element of just being able to know where you stand. That, of course, you know, even switching gears in the cancer side of things, knowing, being able to detect early, we know that that is life-changing for so many people, and you've been able to see that right here in your office.
It's remarkable what we're capturing. I mean, sometimes we find things that are unfortunately advanced, and that's the sad side of what we're able to detect. But this is exactly why we tell patients, and anybody who's watching that is interested in what we're doing, come in sooner than later, because the sooner a patient of ours gets a full body scan, the better our chances of capturing something early. This is not one of those things where you should say, I don't want to know. You do. There is no glamour in dying from these diseases. I had to see it firsthand with my father. It's the most painful experience of my life. You find it early enough. If my father had found out early enough, he would have had a chance. And so that's what we're trying to do, is make sure that everybody understands heart disease and cancers, while they are terrifying and deadly silent killers, if you know about them early, you can survive, and that's what we're here to try to help with.
And you know what I appreciate about being able to have the experience? I mean, the experience was nothing. I got a heated blanket, my heart was being monitored. I mean, it was really something that was easy peasy. And isn't it better to do a scan in that kind of atmosphere versus being in the hospital, or when you are already talking to doctors and you know things may be out of whack, and so you've got that fear element? Why not find out now and do it in this situation?
Makes perfect sense to me, but we've had patients come in here, husbands and wives, where one has dragged in the other, and the person's like, I don't want to know, and we convince them why this is maybe something they should consider. And amazingly, the person who wanted to get the scan has a perfect scan result, and the person who had no concerns in the world is someone who has something that could have been life-threatening. So there is anxiety. I get it. I go into the scanner every year. I have anxiety. But it's one of those alternatives of, do I want to know now if there's something happening, or do I want to find out when it's too late? And obviously that's an easy answer.
And of course, the experience that I had, I mean, there should be no anxiety for the procedure itself. I do want to touch on this one real fast, though, insurance. I know it's something that you are very transparent about, which is something that I really appreciate here at Lifeguard Imaging.
There is no insurance coverage, for the very simple fact that insurance is covering when a doctor has said we need to get a scan to diagnose this particular symptomatic condition. So everything we do is for the patients who have their own advocacy in mind and say, I want to know about it before it's too late. We're hoping to change that through a data study that we're in the middle of.
And really quickly, too, I know you've got a special offer that we get to touch on again that I'm excited about, but also the feedback. I mean, this really is life-changing for so many people that you've been able to help.
It is. We've been able to save lives in our facility and our affiliate up north from the deadliest of cancers, pancreatic cancer, lung cancer, obviously heart disease, any of the major internal organs of the torso, which is what we're looking for. So,
and of course, just because I got that 0 calcium score on my heart scan does not mean that I don't need to come back. This is just a baseline that I'm able to revisit year in, year out, right?
We will continue to monitor to make sure it stays there, and if anything changes, you'll know about it. You can take the steps necessary to correct it.
Okay, well, again, it's been so great to spend time with you. Thank you. And here's a little teaser for an upcoming episode of The Blend. Yes, we also did the full body scan, so you're going to have to stay tuned. That takes a little bit longer, so we're going to be able to dive into that in an upcoming episode. In the meantime, take care, Frankie. Your staff, it's been great being here.
It's great meeting you, and I appreciate it. Thank you.